Good morning. Welcome to Vlogmas. Just kidding. Not quite yet, but getting close. Getting so close. I wanted to sit down and do a quick mid-ish month check-in for November because I realized I've been working. I've been working like crazy, but I haven't posted anything. So I feel like I'm making all this progress, and then I realized, you haven't actually posted a video. So I'm going to sit down and we're just going to vlog style it. We're hanging out. We're chatting. You, me, the disastrous sewing room. I'll show you in a minute. Come on, let's see what we can do. Hi, I'm Amy and I make things, and today I have been making a big mess. But we're going to ignore that. We're going to move right on. We're going to talk about all the other things that I've been doing. The creative process is sometimes messy, right? It is a process. So we'll just chit, we'll chat. I'll talk about some important things. It is such a busy time of year, and I realized that while I have been working behind the scenes on all the things for Vlogmas coming up and just other things that need to happen in my life, I haven't sat down to check in with my favorite person, you. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to talk about all the things I've been working on and show you some progress, and I want to hear about your progress. Okay, so the beauty of this interface right here is that I can angle my camera so you cannot see the disaster of a tornado that has gone through my sewing room, that is continuing to go through my sewing room. Well, and other parts of my house as well. And you know, the tornado is me. So let's talk about what I've been up to, and then I'll tell you a little story about how sometimes the people who love you know you so much better than you know yourself. All right, I have gotten 3 quilt tops together, and there's a light behind me, so I'm going to try not to knock it over. You will see these in more detail at a later date as I finish them. But I got this quilt together, and I can't see my monitor, so I hope you can see that. My friend Lori, and I'll put a picture in. My friend Lori does a AccuQuilt club at our local quilt store. And she plays with the AccuQuilt dies and does all these creative, amazing things with them. And this block, which I think I've shown you before, maybe not, but this block was one of her scrappy blocks that she showed, and she had done some different things with it. Well, I didn't have the pieces to do the extended portion of the block, so I put some black on it and laid it out, and it's good to go. And those batiks are now out of my stash. And then this is the scrap challenge that I was hosting that I just woefully abandoned. Sometimes you have to make life a little easier. And that was part of that process. This is the mazed quilt with the warm and cool and scraps. See, I didn't have enough. Look here. I didn't have enough of these 2 fabrics, so I put those in, and it's great. It works. Okay, and this is each of these blocks. Each of these 12-inch blocks has a warmer fabric and a cooler fabric so that the fabric temperatures play against one another. And it's just an experiment in color and play. And like I say, I'll put pictures in so you can see the whole quilt, and I will show it to you when it's finished. Hopefully I'll get some of these things finished. I have an idea for one of the December topics for Vlogmas, which is coming up so very fast. I looked at my calendar and went, wow. Anyway, I got some work to do. And then the third one I finished, I mentioned in the last video that I've been doing a lot of on-the-go sewing at other places. And that's where I've gotten a lot of this just knocked out of the park. This, I seem to always end up with a rainbow jelly roll. They're door prizes. I pick them up when they're on the free table. You know, you gotta love a rainbow jelly roll, right? So I had this white on white fabric. I had the pattern. I had to add some batik strips because I can't leave well enough alone. You know I can't. I can't just have it be all super matchy. So I added batik strips from the other two quilts I was making. You know, I had them all out. So I added some of those to mix it up. And there'll be a photo. I've had those blocks finished for quite some time. And I finally got them all together recently. And eventually they'll get on the long arm and they'll get quilted. And then they'll get donated, and then all good things will happen. What else? Oh, I talked about, my last video was about the Make It Work and the quilt that I'm hand quilting. You guys, I got all these little blue triangles. I'll hold this up because it's really cute. And so you see, there are a lot of blue triangles here. Let me show you the back because it's fun on the back, right? If you can see, zoom in. This is my very technical zoom. I'm going to push the quilt closer to the camera. I'm working on my own today. This is what I've got. So I got all the blue finished, and I was going to use all different reds, but there are only 3 like red sections. So I decided to use a single red in all the red. And I decided that's what I'm going to do with each of the colors. And that quilt starts with this block right here, okay? It's just a bunch of these. And these were leftovers from another quilt that I'll show you when I do the whole finished ta-da on the hand quilted. Been doing the hand quilting while I listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm in book 7. It's getting intense, guys. It's so good. Hang on. I'm drinking tea today because I'm out of coffee, which is a travesty. I'm drinking tea out of my son's Jack Skellington cup today. I'm doing a lot of super secret sewing that you'll see in the upcoming December videos, that you'll see in hopefully another video going out next week. And like I say, I've been clearing things out, working in my closet, cleaning things out, really decluttering and purging a lot of things. And it's hard work, right? There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. You know, I never say no to free fabric because I know that if I can't use it, I can find someone who will. And about every 6 months, you really need to go through this process of looking at what you want right now. Well, I felt like I was on a hamster wheel. And my friend Tiffany, who you guys, I hope you've seen in the live chat, I'll link it down below. You know, sometimes the people who love you know you so much better than you know yourself. She texted me the other day, not out of the blue, we text every day, but she texts me and she says, "How are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm good. How are you?" And she says, "Well, I know November's hard for you." And I went, huh. My life makes so much more sense right now, in this moment, that you said that and I made that connection. And I proceeded to tell her that I had overhauled our entire pantry and refrigerator and freezer, pulled everything out, cleaned everything up, reorganized, put everything that I needed back. And I've been doing the same thing in here in the studio, pulled all the scraps out. There's a video coming about getting organized and things like that. And it's comical. And it's, you know, I'm still, it's starting to get better, but I still feel like it's going to get worse before it gets better stage. But I pulled everything out, gone through it. I was on the wheel, you know, I was turning through them like, I'm doing so good. And then she said this. In November, Thanksgiving was my mother's favorite holiday. And it's one that's always hard for me. And I've spoken about it here before. And then my mom's birthday is at the end of the month. Was on the 30th. And I mean, it's been 16 years. It's been 16 years and it is still hard. And here in Texas where, you know, the weather doesn't really change. It doesn't get like cool and crispy and the leaves change. None of that happens. But that, like, I don't have that visual cue to remind me that this is going to creep up on me, right? And the holidays, I know, are hard for so many of us. Loss, grief, struggle, you know, financially sometimes is very difficult. And like I say, Tiffany asked me this, I realized my life makes so much more sense right now. And the activities of the past week, now that you have helped me make that connection. And then I proceeded to ugly cry and help process some of the unprocessed trauma and grief of my life. But the holidays are hard. It can be. This time of year can be really hard. And the people who care about you will check on you. But even if they don't, even if you are hurting in silence, in a way nobody sees, nobody knows, you're not alone. And I think it is so very important that we talk about this, that we normalize things being hard and it being okay to not be okay. The world is hard enough, but when your inner world is hard on top of that, it's a double whammy. And this time of year turns a lot of that up. You know, Bonnie Hunter does her mystery quilt this time of year on purpose for a reason, to get people through a difficult time. Bonnie's mystery quilt's a great thing and it helps a lot of people. And I think the more we talk about that life, you know, life is good. Life is good. Bad things happen. Hard things happen. But life is good, and this community will reach out and wrap you in its arms and wrap you in a warm handmade quilt and just lift you right back up and let you know that you're not alone. So as you work on holiday preparations, whatever those are, celebrate, don't celebrate, making gifts or not making gifts, remember to check on your friends, to check in with yourself, and to let people wrap you in their love and support. Because they're out there. We're out here. And none of us get through this world without helping each other. So, on a lighter note, I have a tutorial. You know how I feel about tutorials. Here's how I made this. And it is. That's what it will be. It will be, here's how I made this. Hopefully this will go up. This will go up next week. It is the easiest project ever. I'm really excited about it. If you hate putting in a zipper, this project's for you. Let me tell you, easiest zipper ever. I will continue to hand quilt. I am hand binding a quilt for my friend who detests it in exchange for long arming. I think I'm getting the better end of that deal. But I talk about knowing your resources sometimes and trading things out with friends. Lori loves to learn things about her long arm and to explore new things and new patterns and combining things, and detests hand binding. It's the necessary evil. And see, I am the exact opposite. I would rather hand bind all day, every day, than have to wrestle the quilt onto the long arm. So it works out, right? Talk to your friends, work it out, figure, you can trade. At the beginning of the month, I took this amazing workshop with Jean Impey. And if you don't know who Jean Impey is, she is an artist in her own right. I came to know Jean through Freddie Moran, all right? And I've talked probably ad nauseum about Freddie because Freddie loves polka dots and Freddie loved reds. So Jean and Freddie were friends and work cohort partners, right? They got connected as artists and quilting artists and developed what Freddie called making faces, right? So this workshop that they would teach and these quilts and Jean teaches and quilts, and she came to our guild and taught the making faces workshop. And I'll put pictures of my work here. And we had so much fun. Jean is a delight. She brings her best friend Margie with her. The two of them, they're the kind of best friends, like Tiffany and I, who should not be allowed to sit next to each other in church because we will get in trouble. And it was amazing. I had the most fun. And these are still in progress, right? You see, they're just in progress, but they're these whimsical characters that you create. And I don't know, it was fun to do something that's outside the regular rhythm of how I tend to create with block-based quilts. And it gave me, I don't know, all these ideas. That's the thing about taking a workshop or watching a video or a tutorial about something that maybe you would never do. Maybe it's not even quilting, right? But something, you make these connections about bits and pieces you can pick and choose and carry forward and use in your next project. So getting out of your comfort zone, out of your regular rhythm is how you shake things up. It's how you continually are inspired. And like I say, these pictures here, this is just the start. This is the beginning. And when I finish them, I'll show you. And Jean creates a story, a little tale about the person in each of the quilts. And I'll link Jean's website, Jean and Freddie's website down below. It's just fun. It's fun. It's different. Gave me new ideas and new ways to look at fabric and pattern and shape that are interesting and inspiring me in ways that I didn't expect. I knew I'd go and I'd make this thing and then I'd have this thing. But that's what's great. It's like you're always learning from everyone. So what else? What's coming up? I will be here every day in December. Very much like last year, if we're going and doing, you're going to come along and go and do with me. So we'll be along for the ride. It's just sitting here in the sewing room, chatting, hanging out, learning new things, you know, talking about what we're working on. And I've got some plans. I've got some plans. So, you know, wait for it. It's going to be fun. And I've got some travel in there that we are doing. So that is going to be interesting in the scheduling. So I'm excited. I love the challenge of posting every day in December. It is so much work, but it is so much fun. And I learn about myself and I learn about you guys. And I love talking to you every day. So I am looking forward to that. I did not realize it's in 10 days, but hey, we'll get there. I'll get there, right? Ready or not, it's coming. It's coming whether I'm ready or not. But I'm working hard and I am excited to experience the process and hang out with you guys every day. It is such a delight. I'm looking around my room at what else is coming up, what else I'm working on right now, and I've got two more quilts to lay out. And now the to be quilted list has gotten way out of hand. So I've got some work. I got some work ahead of me, and I am going to use the December Vlogmas opportunity to really get things done and use you guys, my friends, my internet family as accountability partners. So I'm going to check on you. I hope you check on each other. And I hope that if this season is a difficult one, that you feel the love and care of this community. You have a place to be. You are welcome here, and I am so glad that you're here. We'll get through it, we'll have a good time, and we'll all be together. And that is what's important. And you know what else is important? The very most important thing is that you never forget that you make this world more beautiful just by being in it. I'm Amy, and I'll see you next time.